William Shakespeare, he was born in 1564 and died in 1616. So he lived for about 52 years. In a life spanning 52 years, well, he was able to establish himself as the greatest writer ever, the greatest writer, the greatest poet and playwright the world has ever seen. And his fame rests on 17 great dramas, plays. 37 great dramas or plays. Of these 37, 17 are comedies, 10 history plays. You can see this, Henry IV part 1, Henry IV part 2, like that. History plays, dramas, plays based on parts of British history. Then 10 tragedies. Of these 10, 4 are the greatest: Hamlet, King Lear, Macbeth, and Othello. And as far as poetry is concerned, he wrote 154 sonnets and 4 long poems: A Lover's Complaint, The Rape of Lucrece, Venus and Adonis, The Funeral Elegy of W.S. So these are the complete works of William Shakespeare. And with this volume of work, he has succeeded in establishing himself as perhaps the greatest writer ever the world has ever seen. The greatest. Well, coming to date of composition of this Othello, remember, he was born in 1564 and died in 1616. This play, Othello, is supposed to have been written in around 1604, after Hamlet and before King Lear. Remember, the 4 greatest works are Macbeth, Othello, King Lear, and Macbeth. This particular play, Othello, it is generally conjectured that this play was written in around 1604 based on the records available in England, at various sources. It is believed that this play was written in 1604. And where did Shakespeare get the story from? It is conjectured, it is believed that Shakespeare got the story, the plot, the story of this play from an Italian work, Gerald di Cintio's Glitte Hecatomiti. It was published in 1565. Remember, Shakespeare was born in 1564, and this particular work, Glitte Hecatomiti, was published in Italian in 1565, and there was a French translation. Some critics say that Shakespeare knew a little bit of Italian and he read the original Glitte Hecatomiti, and some others believe that Shakespeare read the French translation of Giraldo Cintio's Gli Hecatometti, which was published in 1565 in Italian. So he took the story of Othello from Italian. But remember, he has, a large number of modifications. He made a large number of modifications, several changes in the story. Well, there are, a large number of, diversions or changes in the original story from the Gli Hecatometti, which was a work published in Italian by Giraldo Cintio. So this much about the introduction. Now we go straight into the story. As far as the story of Othello, there is some background information that you should know. So as far as the characters are concerned, these are the characters. This is the original title of Othello, the tragedy of Othello, the Moor of Venice, a black man, a black, African, a Negro, the Moor of Venice. The tragedy of Othello, the Moor of Venice. This was the original title of the play as published, written or composed by William Shakespeare. As far as the characters are concerned, characters of the play are concerned, dramatis personae means persons of the play, characters of the play, kathapathrangal. Well, number one is Othello. He is a Moor. He is a Negro, a black African. And he, what is he? He is a general, an army general, a general in the service of, in the Venetian army. Venice. Remember, Venice is in Italy. Well, in Venice, he was a general. He was in command of the entire army. So he was a great man, a big name, a soldier, perhaps the most important soldier in the Venetian army, a general, Othello. Then comes Brabanchio. Brabanchio is father of Desdemona. Remember, she is the heroine. And Brabanchio is a Venetian senator. He is a member of the Venetian Senate of Venice, Brabanchio. Then there is another man, Cassio. Cassio is an honorable lieutenant of Othello. Remember, Othello is the general and Cassio is the lieutenant. So second in command, lieutenant. And then Iago, perhaps the most famous villain ever created in literature, Iago. It is very, very, very difficult to see such a person, such a character, Iago, the devilish villain, a villain, and he has a job. He is Othello's ancient. The word ancient means flag bearer, a person who holds, carries, bears the flag, a person who carries a flag, or another word for that is also ensign. So ancient means flag bearer. Then there is Rodrigo. Rodrigo is a gentleman of Venice, but he is a very, very gullible fellow, very easily cheated by anyone. Rodrigo. He is a gentleman, he is a Venetian, he is also very rich. And then the Duke of Venice, then there are members of the Senate, senators, then Montano is the governor of Cyprus, gentleman of Cyprus. Then Lodovico is a cousin of Desdemona. Gratiano is the uncle of Desdemona. Then there are sailors, clowns. Well, these are the male characters. Othello, the general, a Moor, Brabanchio, Desdemona's father, Cassio, lieutenant of Othello, Iago, villain, Rodrigo, a gullible gentleman of Venice, Duke of Venice, senators, Montano, gentleman, Lodovico is Desdemona's cousin, Gratiano, her uncle. Well, the female characters, Desdemona, the heroine, Desdemona, wife to Othello and Brabanchio's daughter. When the play opens, we can see that she has married. She is married to Othello. Remember, Desdemona is white. She is a Venetian. She belongs to Europe. Othello is black. He is from Africa. Well, the cultural difference is already there. The racial difference is already there. Emilia is wife to Iago. Emilia, Iago's wife. She is also her mistress, her maid, Desdemona's maid. Then there is Bianca, who is a prostitute, a courtesan, a prostitute, and she is Cassio's mistress. Remember Cassio? Cassio is the lieutenant, and Bianca, the prostitute, the courtesan, is Cassio's mistress. These are the characters. Is it clear? All right. Shall we go to the play? Start the play? Well, when the play opens, before the play opens, so this is the name of the play, The Tragedy of Othello, the Moor of Venice. Othello is the Moor of Venice. The Tragedy of Othello, the Moor of Venice. Well, when the play opens, before the play opens, this is, I have given the background information here. Well, Rodrigo, we saw Rodrigo, a gullible gentleman of Venice, is very rich, a very wealthy and gullible Venetian. He has been wooing, courting, trying to make love to Desdemona. Trying to love. It's a sort of, one-way traffic. He is in love with her, but not she. In return, Desdemona doesn't love him. So he is after her. He has proposed to Desdemona's father, Brabanchio, but he said no. And Iago has been making capital out of it, out of this situation. Iago told him, look, Rodrigo, I'll help you. Rodrigo is very rich. So Rodrigo has been, giving him money. He is very wealthy, very rich. So Rodrigo has given the control of his purse to Iago. Iago has been making use of his riches, Rodrigo's riches, the purse, as if it were his own. And Rodrigo was in the hope of marrying Desdemona. Well, Iago, there's a problem. Iago, as we saw earlier, is Othello's flag bearer, ensign. And he has been hoping to get a promotion in the army, a promotion to the post of lieutenant. But we have already seen Cassio as lieutenant. But what happened? Unfortunately, Othello has promoted Cassio, not Iago. So Iago believes that Othello appointed Cassio as lieutenant, surpassing him. Oh, it was very bad. Iago believes that it is he who deserves to be promoted to the post of lieutenant, not Cassio. Because Cassio, Iago says Cassio is not a good soldier. I am a better soldier. I know the practicality, the practical things as far as the warfare is concerned. War is concerned, battle is concerned, warfare in the battlefront. Well, I have a lot of experience, whereas he is only a theoretician. In warfare, as far as warfare is concerned, as far as fighting is concerned, well, he is bookish. Cassio has only bookish knowledge. I am more practical. I am more experienced. I am a veteran. I am a very, very experienced soldier. So I should have been promoted to the post of lieutenant instead of Cassio. So he has he harbors a sort of grudge. Iago dislikes Othello for that very reason, for not promoting, not considering Iago's name for promotion to the post of lieutenant. Instead of Iago, Othello promoted Cassio as his lieutenant, and he believes it is very, very bad. No, it should not. Othello should not have done like that. So he dislikes him. Iago hates Othello. So this is the background information. Is it okay? Right. So we go straight into the play. The tragedy of Othello, the Moor of Venice. And these are the characters. Well, it begins here. The tragedy of Othello, the Moor of Venice. It is on a street. The play begins on a street. Act 1, Scene 1. Remember, Shakespeare's plays are divided into 5 acts. Act. 5 acts. Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5. There are 5 acts. In every Shakespearean play has 5 acts. And each act is divided into several scenes. 2 or 3 or 4, up to 7 or 8 scenes you can see. But here, I think the maximum number of scenes in an act is 5. So, Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, Act 5. And Act 1, as far as Act 1 is concerned, there is Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. Act 1, Scene 1, Act 1, Scene 2, Act 1, Scene 3. There are 3 scenes in Act 1. And this is a pretty long scene, having 198 lines. So we start. Shall we start? Right. So look, where does the play start? What's the location? Ahas V. Girikumar എന്ന് പറയുന്ന okay. Great. So, the tragedy of Othello, the Moor of Venice. So, where is the location? A street in Venice. The play begins with Rodrigo and Iago. You know the situation, don't you? Rodrigo is courting, is wooing. He wants to love Desdemona. But there is no response from Desdemona. She is very cold towards Rodrigo. She doesn't like him. But Rodrigo is following her, is after her. Remember, Rodrigo is very rich. Who is in control of his purse? Who is in control of Rodrigo's purse? Iago. Well, here is Rodrigo and Iago. Rodrigo, shh, never tell me. He's very unhappy. Shh, never tell me. I take it much unkindly that you, thou Iago, who hast had my purse, as if the strings were thine, shouldst to know of this. You should know this. This is very bad. He's very unhappy. Why is he unhappy? Because there is no response. There is no positive development. In the love affair, there is no positive development. He believes that Iago has not helped him. Iago has been making use of his money. I take it much unkindly. I don't like it. That what? That you, Iago, who had my purse, who were in control of my purse, you have exploited me of my riches, as if the strings were thine, as if you were controlling my purse. You should know this. What? It is very, very bad. Then Iago says, oh, God's blood, by God, you will not hear me? Please listen to me. If ever I did dream of such a matter about me, no, you are not right. What you're saying is not right. I never thought like that. I never dreamt like that. Now, if you can prove that I did like that, no, I was not sincere. I was not sincere in your affair. If I didn't work for that, if I was lazy, if I didn't work for that, now you can abhor me, you can hate me, you can dislike me. Then Rodrigo says, thou toldest me, you told me. What? Thou didst hold him in thy hate, that you don't like him, that you don't like Othello. You have already told me that you don't like him. Now what's the problem here? The problem is Rodrigo wants to marry Desdemona, and Iago has offered to assist him. So Rodrigo has been spending his money. But now it is heard, it is learned that Desdemona has secretly married Othello. So finished. The affair is over. Now what's the use? Iago, you have been offering me. You have been telling me that you will help me to marry Desdemona. But now you say that she has married Othello. She has ran away. She has eloped with. She has secretly ran away with Othello and married him. Now what's the use? Now what have you been doing? So he is very, very unhappy. Now Iago says, despise me if I do not. You can hate me. You can hate me if I do not. By God, he says, Iago says, by God, I hate him. I hate whom? I hate Othello. Why? You know the reason. What's the reason? Can anyone tell me the reason why why Iago hates Othello? Lisa? All right, Uttara, right, yes. Right, Cassio. That's right, thank you very much. Because Cassio was promoted. Cassio was promoted as Othello. So he says, I hate him for that. You look, it is not a simple affair. It is not a simple affair. Because I was not just, sitting quietly and waiting for a promotion. 3 great ones of the city. No, I tried to influence him. I tried my level best to get that post. And for that there were a lot of recommendations. Recommendations from three noble ones, three great ones of the city, three noblemen of the city of Venice, in personal suit to make me his lieutenant, off-capped to him. So three noblemen of the city went to Othello recommending my name. They off-capped to him. Well, they paid all the respects. Off-cap means remove the cap. So to remove a cap, well, it is to show respect. So three great noblemen of the city of Venice, they approached Othello and they paid their respects. And by the faith of man, I know my price. I know what I am. I am worth no worse a place. He believes, I am worth no worse a place. I deserve it. I deserve that post. Which post? The post of a lieutenant. But he who, the man who is made a lieutenant now, Cassio, well, as loving his own pride and purposes, evades them. Well, as far as Othello is concerned, well, when these noblemen went to him and recommended my name and requested him to promote me as his lieutenant, well, he just ignored them. But he, as loving his own pride and purposes, evades them. He evaded them with the bombast circumstance horribly stuffed with epithets of war. Well, he started talking greatly about the war, horribly stuffed with epithets of war. He was talking a great thing about war. There was a long lecture about war, and in conclusion, and finally he said, "Non suits my mediators for certain," says he. He said, "I have already chose my officer." He said, "I'm sorry, I have already chosen my officer." And what was he? Who is that person who is promoted to the post of the lieutenant? Forsooth, a great arithmetician, a theoretician. He has no practical knowledge of warfare. He knows about war only in theory. He is a bookish soldier, an arithmetician. One Michael Cassio, one Michael Cassio, a theoretician, a Florentine. He is from Florence, that never set a squadron in the field. He has no experience in the field, never set a squadron in the field, nor the division of a battle knows, more than a spinster. Well, just like, if a girl knows anything about war, well, he knows. Just like a girl who knows nothing about the practicalities of war, unless the bookish theory, wherein in the touged consuls can propose as masterly as he. Well, the touged, wearing toga, the long black gowns used by lawyers, advocates. Well, he can talk. He's an expert in talking. He's an expert in speaking. He's an expert in lecturing about warfare. But mere prattle, mere talk, without practice. He has no practical knowledge of warfare. His asset is all his soldiership. As a soldier, his asset is prattle, talk, lecture, nothing in practice. But he, sir, had the election. He was elected. He was appointed. And I? What happened to me? What about me? Of whom his eyes had seen the proof. Well, he is witness. Othello is witness. He is an eyewitness of my ability, of my expertise in soldiership. At Rhodes, for example, at Cyprus, and at other places, Christian and heathen, in different countries, I have proved my ability. I have proved my expertise, and he knows it. Who? Othello knows it. He's a proof. He's a witness. must be lead and calmed by debitor and creditor. Well, by debitor and creditor, his countercaster, he in good time. Well, a theoretician, an arithmetician, because he's from Florence. Florence was famous for, commerce. He knows how to count money. He's a good counter. At counting money, at counting currency, he's an expert. Debitor, creditor, because Florence was in those days, Florence was very, very famous for commercial activities. He's good at that. He's a good businessman. But Cassio is a good businessman, maybe. He's a good theoretician. He knows nothing about the practical knowledge of the practical things of warfare. He knows nothing. Well, and he, such a man, in good time, must his lieutenant be. And what happened to me? Oh, God bless the mark. His moorship's ancient. His moorship's ancient. Ancient flag bearer. I am just an ordinary flag bearer of the Moor of Venice, of Othello. And that theoretician, that arithmetician, that businessman, one who is an expert in counting money, well, Cassio, he is promoted to the post of, he is promoted to the rank of lieutenant, and I just remain as what? As an ancient, as a flag bearer. Rodrigo, by heaven, I rather would have been his hangman. I would have killed him. Well, had I been in your place, I would have killed him. Rodrigo says, Iago, why, there is no remedy. There is no remedy. Nothing can be done. This is the curse of service. Well, in positions, in jobs, it is like that. It is like that. Preferment, advancement, promotion goes by letter and affection. By letter and affection. You get a promotion. You get promoted to a place not because of your knowledge, not because of your expertise, not because of your experience, but because of letter and affection, by influence and recommendations. Iago believes that Cassio was promoted to the post of the lieutenant through letter and affection, and not by all the gradation, not by your expertise, not by your knowledge. Well, each second stood at the first. Now, sir, judge yourself. You can judge yourself whether should I love him? You please tell me. Should I love him? No, I will never do that. Whether in any just term, am fine to love the Moor? Should I love the Moor in this circumstances? Should I love him? Then Rodrigo says, I would not follow him. Now, had I been in your position, I would never follow him. Iago, oh sir, be happy, content you. I follow him. Why? To serve my turn upon him. Now only to satisfy my interests. Now I remain as an ancient, as a flag bearer. I follow him, I follow Othello only for my own benefit, not for his benefit. We cannot all be masters. Look at the saying. All of us, we cannot all be masters. Everybody cannot be a master. No, all masters cannot be truly followed. How can you expect everybody to follow all masters? Everybody cannot be masters, and nor all masters can be truly followed. No. You shall mark, many a duteous and knee-crooking knave, that doting on his obsequious bondage, wears out his time much like his master's ass. You can see several people serving masters like an ass, like donkeys. കഴുതയെ പോലെ ഇങ്ങനെ പണിയെടുക്കുന്ന കുറെ ആളുകളെ നമുക്ക് കാണാൻ സാധിക്കും. രണ്ട് തരം ആളുകളുണ്ട്. There are two types of people. One type, the first type is like the ass, the donkey. They go on wearing out, they go on working and working and working like a obsequious bondage, like a slave, doing slavery. There are people like that. For naught, nothing. They work for nothing but a provender, for food, just for eating, like an animal, like an ass. And wherein he is old cashiered with me, such honest knaves, they should be whipped. They are, very, very bad, ugly, dirty people. Such people, they should be whipped. They should be beaten. They should be punished. And there is another type. Others there are. The second type, who trimmed in, very, very well dressed, trimmed in forms and visages of beauty. Well, they appear very, very, in a very decent, well dress. Keep yet their hearts attending on themselves, and they just, pretend to be doing everything sincere and dedicated, but yet throwing but shows of service, just, making pretenses, shows of service to their lords. They do well, thrive by them, and they have lined their coats, do themselves homage, they help themselves. Why they serve them? They serve their masters only to help themselves, only for their own benefit, not for the master's benefit. These fellows, the second type, they have some soul, and such a one do I profess myself. I like the second type, not the first not the first type, the first, donkey, ass, the asses, the animals who works and who, tirelessly work for nothing but provender, just for food. But the second type, they follow their masters for their own benefit. They line their coats, means they get a lot of riches, they get a lot of benefit, and they pay homage to themselves. These are the better people, and I belong to the second type. It is as sure as you are Rodrigo. Were I the Moor, I would not be Iago. In following him, in following Othello, I follow but myself. Heaven is my judge. Look, God is my witness. Heaven is my judge, not I, for love, for duty. I never loved him. I am not dutiful to him. But in following him, I follow Othello just to follow myself, to have, to serve my own, to satisfy my interest. But in seeming so, for my peculiar end, when my outward action doth demonstrate the native act and figure of my heart in compliment extern, it is not long after, but I will wear my heart upon my sleeve. I will wear my heart upon my sleeve for dos to packet. Remember, I am not what I am. ഞാൻ കാണുന്ന പോലെയല്ല. Because in my heart of hearts, I hate him. I don't like him. But outwardly, I look like a person who is very, very loving, who is very, very sincere, who is very dedicated, very, very respectful. But I am not what I am. In following him, I follow but myself. Then Rodrigo says, what a full fortune does the thick lips owe. If he can carry thus the thick lips are വലിയ ചുണ്ടുള്ളവൻ. The Africans, the Moors, they are very, very black, like coal, with the huge lips. That, remember, nobody says he, thick lip. These people, Rodrigo, Iago, and others refer to Othello by these words. They never mention him. They never mention his name. What a full fortune does the thick lips owe. Oh, these people have a lot of money. Thick lips, Othello. Oh, if he can carry this, he must be very, very powerful. He must be very, very fortunate. How can he do like that? It is our army. It's a Venetian army. And a Moor, a black African, coming and doing like this. Well, if he can carry it thus, that's the reference to Othello. So what shall we do? Then Iago makes a plan. What's the plan? Call up her father. Call up her father. Rouse him. നമുക്ക് പോയി ഇപ്പം തന്നെ ഉണർത്തിയേക്കാം. Because they are talking about the secret marriage between Othello and Desdemona. What shall we do? Iago says, well, her father, Desdemona's father, Brabanchio, he is asleep. He doesn't know that his daughter has run away. His daughter has eloped with Othello. We'll call up her father, rouse him, make after him. We'll poison his delight. We'll poison the delight of. We'll give him trouble. We are going to poison the delight of Othello. No, he should not be happy like that. He should not. No, proclaim him in the streets. We'll call out. We'll shout in the streets that Desdemona has secretly ran away with Othello. We'll rouse up. We'll arouse everybody. We'll shout in the streets. We'll incense her kinsmen, her relatives. We'll make them angry against Othello. And though he in a fertile, well climate dwell, wherever he dwells, we'll plague him with flies. We'll trouble him. We'll give him trouble. Though that his joy be joy, yet through such changes of vexation, we'll give him the maximum trouble that it may lose some color. We will spoil his first night. We want to trouble him. So what are we going to do? What are they going to do? What is Iago and Rodrigo going to do? They are going to arouse all the persons. They are going to shout in the streets. They are going to rouse Brabanchio, call him up, and they are going to give all whatever trouble they can give to Othello and Desdemona, who have secretly married. And Rodrigo says, this is her father's house. I'll call aloud. We'll call out. This is her house. This is Brabanchio's house. Iago, then go. With like timorous accent and diarrheal, as when by night and negligence the fire is fired upon the property, as if there is, because it is night, as if there is a huge fire. Then they call out, oh, what ho, Brabanchio, Senior Brabanchio, ho, what happened? Then Iago, awake, what ho, Brabanchio, thieves, look to your house and your daughter and your bags, thieves. So they are calling out, thieves, Brabanchio, thieves, look at your house, there are thieves in your house, is everything safe? Are all the people safe there inside? Then Brabanchio appears above at a window. Brabanchio, what's the reason of this terrible summons? What happened? What's the matter here? Then Rodrigo says, Senior, is all your family within? Are all your family members inside? They are safe? Then Iago, are your doors locked? Why? Why are you saying like this? Then Iago says, zounds, by God, sir, you are robbed. You have been robbed of your riches. It's a shame. Shame for you. Put on your gown. Your heart is burst. You have lost your soul. Even now, very now, an old black ram, look at the comparison, the simile. An old black ram, ഒരു കിഴവനായിട്ടുള്ള ഒരു black ram, ഒരു ആട് is stopping, is having sex with your white ewe, with your white lamb. നിന്റെ വെളുത്ത നല്ല ആട്ടുകുട്ടിയുമായിട്ട് they are enjoying sex. Arise, awake everybody, the snorting citizens with the bell, awake everybody, or else the devil will make a grandsire of you. That devil, that ram, that old black ram will make you a grandfather. Come on, get up, I say. Then Brabanchio, what? Have you lost your wits? Hey, what happened? Have you become mad? Rodrigo, most reverend Senior, do you know my voice? Do you know me, sir? Rodrigo asks Brabanchio. Rodrigo asks Brabanchio, Do you know my voice, sir? Brabanchio, no. Who are you? My name is Rodrigo. Then Brabanchio warns him. Oh, the words are welcome. It's very bad. I have told you several times not to come here in search of my daughter. I have charged thee not to haunt about my doors. In honest plainness thou hast heard me say, my daughter is not for you. I am not going to give my daughter to you. Now in madness, maybe you are mad, being full of supper and distempering thought. You might be drunk. Distempering drafts means, the alcoholic drinks that make you mad upon malicious bravery. Because your bravery, your courage is not good actual courage. It is born out of the distempering drafts, the drinks that you have. Do you come to start my quiet? Do you want to trouble me? Then Rodrigo says, Sir, 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 but thou must needs be sure that my spirit and place having the power to make this bitter to thee. No, look, I can give you trouble. I can give you to my spirit and my place having the power. I can give you a lot of trouble. Brabanchio says, if I want, I can give you trouble. So don't come and trouble me. So be very, very careful. Then, well, I think we'll call it a day. നമുക്കിവിടെ നിർത്താം. Is it clear? Any questions? ആരൊക്കെ ഉണ്ടെന്ന് നോക്കാം. ആലൂസ് എങ്ങനെ ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു? മനസ്സിലായോ? എന്താ പ്രശ്നമുള്ളത്? ഇല്ലല്ലേ? സമീഹ, ഗോകുൽ, അക്ഷയ്, ആൽഫി, ഇസ, ഉത്തര, ആഷ്ലി, ലീഷ, ശ്യാമൽ, ജസ്ലിൻ, ജോയൽ, ഫൈസൽ. ആരാ ഫൈസൽ? ആഷി. ഓക്കെ, വേറെ ആരെല്ലാം ഉണ്ടോ? ഇല്ല, ഇതുപോലെ പോയാൽ മതിയോ? ക്ലിയർ അല്ലേ? ഓക്കെ, ഗുഡ്. അപ്പൊ ഇന്നൊന്ന് വായിച്ചു നോക്കുക, എന്നിട്ട് നമുക്ക് നാളെ രാവിലെ കാണാം. ഓക്കെ, താങ്ക് യു വെരി മച്ച്. സീ യു ടുമോറോ.